I want you to picture a scenario. It's a Tuesday morning. You are in the absolute thick of it. Maybe you run a bakery and you've got flour up to your elbows, or you're an auto mechanic under the hood of a car. You're deep in that flow state, and then the phone rings.
The ultimate enemy of productivity.
Exactly. You have to stop, you wipe your hands, you pick it up, and it's someone asking, hey, are you guys open till 5 or 6 today? You answer, you hang up, you try to get back into it, and, 3 minutes later, it rings again.
It is the classic dilemma, right, for the local entrepreneur. You're trying to be the CEO, the technician, and the receptionist all at the same time. And the research on this is clear. The friction cost of switching contexts like that is just, it's massive. It kills your efficiency.
It really feels like the only solution is to clone yourself. But since, biology isn't quite there yet, today we are diving into the next best thing. We're talking about artificial intelligence.
Right.
But, and this is a really big but, we are not talking about AI for like the big Silicon Valley tech companies or the Fortune 500s.
No, and that is why this deep dive is so important. We are looking at AI specifically for the local business owner. The coffee shop, the plumber, the small law firm down the street. The application of this tech is just completely different at that scale.
And to guide us through this, we're unpacking a presentation. It's called AI for Local Business Owners. It was delivered at the 2026 Columbus Chamber Dinner by Bob Turner, who's the founder of Web Wisconsin.
And what's great about Turner is he isn't some futurist on a TED stage talking about, the year 3000. This guy has 26 years in the trenches. He's based in historic Columbus, Wisconsin, building digital solutions for real Main Street businesses.
So his framework is practical. It's not abstract. And we're going to break down his 7 C's framework, which is basically a roadmap to help you stop worrying about the robots taking over and start using these tools to buy back your time.
And we really have to frame this against a huge shift in how the internet even works. We're moving from, Google being a monopoly to this fragmented AI-driven world. And if you're not paying attention to that, you are already falling behind.
Okay, so let's get into it. The first thing that really hit me in Turner's presentation was, well, it was totally unexpected. I thought we'd start with AI, but he starts with SEO, search engine optimization.
Yeah, specifically Chamber of Commerce memberships.
Which seems like a strange place to start, right?
It does, but it makes perfect sense if you understand how the web actually works. Those people join a local chamber for, what? The mixers.
Right, to shake some hands, pass out business cards.
Exactly. But Turner argues the real value isn't that. It's technical. It's the backlink.
Okay, let's define that. For anyone who's not super technical, what is a backlink actually doing? Why does it matter so much?
So think of the internet as like a popularity contest. A backlink is when a trusted, established website, like a Chamber of Commerce, links to your website. It's a huge vote of confidence in the eyes of Google.
So it's basically telling Google, hey, this business is legit. They're not some fly-by-night operation.
Precisely. It builds your domain authority. And Turner's whole point is you need that authority to even show up in search results. He used this brutal analogy about the Olympics that I thought really landed the point.
Oh, I loved this. He asks the audience, does anyone know what medal they give to the person who gets 4th place?
And the answer is, of course, nothing.
Nothing. You go home empty-handed, and the internet is exactly the same. If you aren't in those top 3 spots, gold, silver, bronze, you are practically invisible.
The data backs that up completely. The drop-off in clicks after that 3rd result is just a cliff. But here's the twist Turner introduces. The competition is changing because the whole game is changing. Google is no longer the only referee.
He said, I used to say Google has no competitor.
I mean, that's wild to even think about. For 20 years, we don't search for things, we Google them. That era is ending. Google now competes with ChatGPT, with Siri, with Alexa. People are just asking their devices, find me a plumber who's open right now. They're not typing keywords into a search bar anymore.
And Google is reacting to that. They're not just sitting back and watching this happen.
Oh, not at all. They're aggressively integrating AI themselves.
Yeah.
And Turner mentioned something that I think a lot of business owners would find, well, pretty startling. Google is now using AI agents to physically, well, digitally call businesses.
Hey, hang on. To call them? You mean I could pick up the phone at my shop and it's a Google robot on the other end?
Yes. It calls to verify your hours or your holiday schedule, maybe confirm your pricing. And if you hang up on it because you think it's just another spam call,
oh, no.
your listing might get downgraded, or it'll show hours unconfirmed on Google Maps.
Wow. Okay. So the stakes are high. The AI is already at your door, whether you invite it in or not.
Which is the perfect segue into Turner's 7Cs framework.
Yeah.
If the gatekeepers like Google are using AI, then business owners have to understand it. And the first C is concern.
Which is fair. I mean, people are worried. They're worried about the learning curve, about falling behind.
And Turner validates that. He says, I realize there is some concern out there. And there should be. Ignoring this isn't bravery, it's just foolish. But then he counters that fear with that famous Henry Ford quote.
Right. If I had asked people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses.
It's the perfect way to frame it.
Mm-hmm.
Disruptive tech never looks like just a small improvement. It looks scary. Turner then uses the Titanic analogy. He says worrying about AI without adapting is like rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic. The ship is sinking.
You have to get on the lifeboat.
Or build a speedboat. Which brings us to the second C, caution. And this is where it gets very practical. He warns about something called AI hallucination.
Okay, that sounds like a prog rock band. What is actually happening when an AI hallucinates?
You have to remember these models aren't databases of facts. They're prediction engines. They are just trying to predict the next most likely word in a sentence. And if they don't know an answer, they don't always say, I don't know.
They just make it up.
They'll confidently fabricate a fact, a court case, a statistic, because it sounds like it should be correct. It's not malicious. It's just trying to fill in the blanks.
Yeah.
So Turner's rule is simple. Always check the work.
Treat it like a brilliant, but maybe slightly drunk intern.
Laughs. That's a perfect way to put it. You give them the task, but you definitely don't send their email to a client without reading it first.
He does touch on the third C, creation, making images, videos. It's fun, but he argues it's not the real ROI for a local shop.
No, that's the shiny object. The real money is in the next two C's, convenience and content.
This is all about efficiency. Turner calls AI Google with a better voice.
Right. Think about the blank page problem. You need to write a marketing email or respond to a tough customer. Just staring at that blinking cursor costs you time. AI solves that instantly. He asks the audience, what's the value of saving, say, 30 minutes to 2 hours a day?
If your billable rate is $200 an hour, that's a lot of money over a year.
It's huge. And he highlights a specific tool called Fathom.video as an example of this.
Oh, I've actually used this one. It joins your Zoom meetings, right?
It does, but it's not just recording. It's transcribing and summarizing. So instead of scribbling notes, you can just be present and listen. 5 minutes after the call, the AI sends you a bulleted list of action items.
That's a game changer. But going back to caution, he suggests something interesting about using these tools, a disclaimer.
I think this is brilliant. He suggests adding a little footer to your email, something like, note, this message may have been drafted with AI assistance. Please verify critical info.
It sets expectations. It's honest and says, I'm using a tool to be efficient, but I'm still accountable for the content.
It builds trust, and it shows you're tech savvy without trying to trick anyone.
Okay, so we've covered the setup and the efficiency gains. Now I want to get to the part that it blew my mind. The last two major C's, commerce and customer service.
This is the holy grail. Commerce covers things like dynamic pricing and fraud detection, which is great. But customer service is where a local business can just leapfrog the competition. We're talking about the AI digital staff.
And let's be clear, we are not talking about those old, frustrating press one for sales phone trees.
No, not at all. We're talking about generative AI virtual receptionists. These are voice agents that can answer the phone, understand natural language, handle complex questions, and even sound almost human.
He lists the capabilities: answering calls, replying to Facebook messages, booking appointments right on your calendar, responding to Google reviews, and
doing it 24/7. That is the killer feature.
Yes.
Let's go back to that plumber. It's 8 p.m. A pipe bursts. A potential customer is panicking. They call plumber 1, no answer. Plumber 2, voicemail. They call you.
And instead of ringing out, an AI answers.
It answers. It takes their name, their address. It understands the word emergency. It checks your calendar and says, I can have Mike there at 8 a.m. tomorrow, or we can do an emergency dispatch right now for a premium fee. The customer says yes.
You just made money while you were sleeping.
And you stop them from calling the next name on the list. Turner also brings up the HR argument for AI staff. It's a little cold, maybe, but from a purely business standpoint, it's hard to argue with.
Right. No sick days, no vacation requests.
No health insurance, no office drama. It never has a bad day because of a breakup. It's just consistency. He compares the cost. And an AI receptionist works like a dozen full-time employees because it can handle simultaneous calls for less than one part-time human.
That's transformative for a small business, but I can hear the listener now thinking, okay, I'm sold, but I'm a baker, not a software engineer. How do I actually do this?
And that's where Turner's implementation plan is so crucial. His main advice is don't try to boil the ocean.
Step one is start small.
Exactly. Look at your phone logs. What are the 5 questions that waste all your time? What are your hours? What's your return policy? Just build a bot that can answer those 5 things perfectly.
Then you choose a platform and integrate it with your CRM and your calendar.
That integration part is non-negotiable. If the bot books an appointment but it doesn't show up on your actual calendar, you have a disaster. It has to be connected.
Okay, and step 4 is the one I found most interesting. Train the AI on your content. How do you do that?
It's easier than it sounds. You're not writing code. You're uploading documents. You feed it your employee handbook, your website text, your old emails, your price lists. You're giving it a brain that only contains your business knowledge.
So it can't just make stuff up.
Exactly. And you can define the persona. If you run a laid-back surf shop, you feed it casual emails, and it'll pick up that vibe. If you're a high-end law firm, it'll sound formal.
And finally, launch and monitor. He suggests not putting it on your main phone line right away.
No, way too risky. Put it on Facebook Messenger first, or a secondary phone line. Test it, and you monitor the deflection rate. How many calls got answered without needing a human?
And he emphasizes escalation. The robot has to know when to quit.
The human handoff. This is vital. If a customer gets angry or asks for a big refund, the AI has to be programmed to say, I think a manager can help you best with this. Let me have someone call you right back.
Because you can't automate empathy?
Not yet.
Mm.
And you shouldn't try. The AI is there to clear away the clutter so the humans can focus on those high-value, high-emotion moments.
Turner wraps up with some great advice on prompting, basically how to talk to the AI. He gave this great example of a bad prompt versus a good one.
This is such a subtle but important point.
Yeah.
The bad prompt is, write this like you're talking to a 5th grader.
And the good prompt is, write this at a 5th grade reading level. I would have thought there was a difference.
Huge difference. If you say talk to a 5th grader, the AI adopts a persona. It might start sounding condescending, hey there, kiddos.
Yikes. Not good for business.
But if you say 5th grade reading level, you're giving it a technical instruction about sentence structure and vocabulary. It keeps the tone professional, but makes the content easy to understand.
That's a real pro tip. And his last piece of advice is just about not trying to do this all yourself if you're not technical.
Right. It's like, don't DIY your own electrical wiring. If you set this up wrong and it starts insulting your customers, you're doing real damage to your brand. It's a power tool. You need to know how to use it.
So, to recap, we started with this realization that the entire digital world is shifting. Google's not the only game in town anymore.
We looked at the need for backlinks, for trust, and the fact that robots are literally calling your business right now.
We walked through the framework, managing the concern, exercising caution, and using these tools for convenience to save hours a day.
And we landed on the biggest opportunity, customer service. Moving from being an operator trapped on the phone to a business owner with a system that works for you 24/7.
So I just want to leave you, the listener, with a question. Think about your day today. Where did the time actually go? Did you spend 45 minutes answering questions that are already on your website's FAQ page?
Those are the leaks in your boat, and AI is here to plug those leaks.
Turner quoted Henry Ford talking about faster horses, but based on this, I want to pose a different question. In a world that's moving this fast, are you still looking for a faster horse, or are you ready to build an engine?
The tools are right there. The choice is yours.
Thanks for diving deep with us. We'll see you on the next one.
Take care.